Good morning to all the participants in this online workshop on English communication skills organized by Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati, in collaboration with Lok Nayak Bapuji Ane Mahila Mahavidyalaya Yavatma and Professor Ram Meghe College of Engineering and Management, Badnera. In this session, I am going to talk on the topic how to develop English reading habits. There is a word in the title that is habits. In other words, it can be called skills. So, how to develop English reading skills or how to develop English reading habits. In the beginning of this session, I make it very much clear to you, to all the participants, that I am not going to teach you how to develop English reading skills and English reading habits. Because I firmly believe that skills and habits cannot be taught. Skills and habits are to be acquired, are to be gained. Certainly I am going to impart certain strategies, certain methods, certain ways of acquiring this skill. So, instead of emphasizing too much on the technicalities of reading skill, as I am not going to use too many technical terms in this discussion or in this session, I'm going to share my experience with you so that this experience will be useful to you to groom yourself for acquiring reading habits and reading skills. As you know, there is an old saying in English, or there is an old saying that if a person wants to get used to a certain thing or to a certain habit, he has to do that thing, he has to perform that activity for 21 days. Then automatically he will be used to that activity, or he will have the habit of doing that thing. So habit requires constant performance. Means you have to do that activity regularly on daily basis, every day. So for acquiring a good reading skill, making a reading your habit needs regularity. Means what? You have to read every day. You have to devote at least 1 and 2 hours in a day for reading. You must read regularly and continuously. This is the first principle of developing the reading habit. As all of you know that we are living in a social media world. We are living in the world of internet. We have distanced ourselves from reading. Very few people are interested in reading. I have heard many people saying this, that they do not read lengthy messages on WhatsApp and other social medias also. Means what? We are interested in reading short messages, not lengthy messages. Means what? We have distanced ourselves, or we have given up the habit of reading. And that is why I tell you that to become a good reader, you must read every day, at least 1 or 2 hours a day. If you read regularly, that will accelerate your speed of reading. In the beginning, you will find it very difficult to read 50 or 60 pages in an hour. You will be able to read only 20 pages or 30 pages because you are not used to read for hours together. And that's why if you read regularly every day, after a certain period of time, your speed of reading will automatically increase, and you will feel that you are reading with an accelerated speed. One day would come that you will experience that in an hour or in 2 or 3 hours you are able to read at least 60, 70 or 30 pages, 60, 70 or 80 pages. Okay, so to accelerate, to increase the speed of your reading, you have to read every day. This is the first principle of inculcating the reading habit and developing reading skill in you. Okay, now you know that I told you that reading is a skill like the skill of riding a bicycle. Just as when you learn to ride a bicycle, you do practice. You do not get theoretical knowledge of the bicycle. You get the rudimentary knowledge of bicycle, but you practice riding the bicycle, and only then you learn how to ride a bicycle. In the same manner, for becoming a good reader, for acquiring good reading habits, you have to do the practice regularly. Okay, you have to do the practice regularly. This is very important principle that you must follow. This is the fundamental principle that you must follow. Okay, so the first one is regularity, second one is regular practice. Okay, now we are moving to the third important point. You should ask a mood question to yourself, that why do I read? Why do I read? Why do we read? We read for various purposes. We read for gleaning information. We read for gaining knowledge. We read for whiling away the time. We read for entertainment, and we read for pleasure also. The objectives are different, and with different objectives we read. But the motive with which you read, that determines the way of reading. That determines the strategy. That determines the method of reading. So there are various methods of reading. Okay. Most of the time we read for getting information. Most of the time we read for becoming knowledgeable. At such time we use different strategy, we use different method of reading. But if you are reading just to while away the time, then you don't have to follow the same method which you use for gaining knowledge. So if you are reading for entertainment, if you are reading just to while away the time, then no need to follow any serious or sincere strategy or method. For example, let me tell you a very simple example. Sometimes you read for exam. Most of the time you read only for exam. And when you read for exam, at that time you read with concentration and with meticulous attention. I am coming to that point, how to read for exam and how to read for gaining and gleaning information. Okay, but I give you a very simple example. Suppose you read for a whole night for the exam, and next morning you just want to have an overlook of what you have read so far. Then you do skimming. Skimming is a technical term for reading. Skimming, there are various technical terms for reading, just as skimming, scanning, intensive reading and extensive reading. So while doing skimming, you just move your eyes swiftly across the text. and just try to recall what you have read. We are not going in detail about these technical terms, but my intention is to draw your attention to the fact that while reading a text, purpose of reading is very important, because purpose of reading will determine the method and technique of reading. 3 points are very much clear. Make a reading your habit, and for making reading your habit, you have to read continuously for 1 or 2 hours every day. This is the first thing. Second, try to understand that it is a skill, and this skill can be acquired by practice only. Third, try to have the purpose of reading on your mind whilst reading a particular text. Okay? Now, if you are reading for gleaning information or for becoming knowledgeable, how should you read? What strategy you should follow? How should you read and what strategy you should follow? Actually, for this I am going to share my experience with you. When I started reading, I faced certain difficulties, and I strongly feel that most of the beginners also face the same kind of difficulties, and especially 2 difficulties. The first difficulty is of words. When we read a text, we come across unfamiliar, unknown words. Words are not difficult, words are unknown and unfamiliar only. So we come across unknown and unfamiliar words. And second difficulty is of grammatical structures. Grammatical structures are very difficult sometimes, so that we cannot understand what we read. So, how you should overcome these 2 difficulties? How you should overcome with these difficulties? Most of us suffer from poverty of vocabulary, and that's why we do not understand, we do not comprehend what we read. To overcome this difficulty, there is a simple way that you should make it your habit that every time you come across an unknown and unfamiliar word, you will look into a dictionary for the meaning of a word or of the word. It's very simple. That it will enrich your vocabulary, and your comprehension while reading will also increase. You will have a rich vocabulary if you do so. By following this way, you can improve your vocabulary. Whenever you read a text, don't move on without understanding the meaning of unfamiliar or unknown words. Every time you come across the unfamiliar or unknown words, it is your responsibility, it is your job to look into a dictionary to know the meaning of the word. Because if you do not understand the meaning of a word, you will not be able to understand what you read, and you will not be able to understand the meaning of the text also. This is the first thing. For example, in a text I read a word that is a last. A last is a very simple word. Last is very simple word, and most of you, not most of you, but all of you are familiar with the meaning of this word. Last. It's a very common word. But the sentence in that text, in that sentence, the word last is used with the article a last. And I fumbled, I floundered. I did not know the meaning of the word a last. I looked into a dictionary and I found that the meaning of a last is different from the meaning which I had in my mind. What is the meaning of a last? A last is a wooden or metal device, the shape of which is like a human foot, used by shoemakers for repairing and manufacturing shoes. See, a last, differently used. A word, a last is a noun. I knew last as an adjective, and then I came to know a last as a noun and the meaning of last also. And then I understood the sentence, and then I moved on and I understood the passage. Okay. In the same paragraph or in the same text, I came across a phrase, had a way with. The original phrase is, the basic phrase is, to have a way with. See, in this phrase, all the words are familiar. To have a way with, all the words are familiar, but I do not, I didn't understand the meaning of the phrase. So I looked into a dictionary and I came to know that the phrase means having knowledge and expertise in particular thing or for particular things. Okay. So he has a way with flowers means he has expertise in flowers. See. So whenever you read a text, every time you come across unknown and unfamiliar words, you should know the meaning of words. You should come to know the meaning of words, or you should look into a dictionary for the meaning of words. This is very simple thing. Without understanding the meaning of unknown words, do not move. Do not move. And do understand one thing, that words have two kinds of meanings: connotative meanings and denotative meanings. Connotative meaning means the context in which those words are used. That context will determine the meaning of words. We know the meaning of words. Most of the time we know the dictionary meaning of words, but we do not know the contextual meaning of words, the connotative meaning of words. And that's why we do not understand what we read and what is the meaning of the sentences. Okay, so it is very essential. This is very important principle that you must follow, that you will look into a dictionary every time you will read every time you will come across an unknown and unfamiliar word. The next difficulty is of grammar. So to overcome this difficulty, you must read at least 2 important grammar books. You must have rudimentary knowledge of grammar so that you will not have any difficulty in understanding the complex grammatical structures. Okay, simple sentences can be understood easily, but when there are complex and complex compound sentences, comprehension is difficult to get. Okay, so for overcoming this problem of grammar, you should read 2 good grammar books. I recommend 2 good grammar books which are available in the market. The first one is The Remedial English Grammar by F.T. Wood, and second one is Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. If you read these books, if you have these 2 books with you, then whenever you will have any difficulty in understanding the grammatical structures in a text, you will look into this text, into these grammar books, and you will come to know the meaning, and you can move forward. So these are the 2 important ways by which you can overcome the difficulties in understanding the words, meaning of words, and in understanding and solving the problem of grammatical structures. Okay, thank you.